Okay, so they go there. It's you can people not think is different. That as I
So it
said
is
that
not
if
the nature. It is not the nature. The simple thing. If we will allow our kids to study in government school, we think that maybe the teacher in the government school, they are not well. They are not well educated. They don't have smart brains, so they can make our kids smart. This is the only simple reason. And when it comes about hospital, the same. The facility and also the treatment that the doctor are they are doing there. There is no confirmation. I mean, as compared to
uh,
private sector, but
bro,
still there is everything. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
brother, I agree. But no, there is a one risk there now. If I will get the salary by the government, okay. So if something happened with the peoples, it's not my responsibility. We have to understand, brother. I already have to a government school. So what their teacher do because they are salaried provided by the governments. Okay, students are learning or not learning. It doesn't matter now. Okay, when why is people going to private school? Because we are giving the money, so we can condemn. We can say that why are you not teaching my child, my brother? Okay, second we have to understand and we know that about the health education about the government things that which type the hospitals are available. I so when I go in, no, there is the Lalwa in the my city, Lalwa hospital. Lots of people are just no one line is increasing too big. So people are just see that they are very the facilitative level. We can easily get if I have money, so why I should not go to the privates? Yeah, so everything as I said that no people see the profit, but okay my everybody, I respect your thinking, I respect your opinion. It's my thinking that people should be go the profitness and as well as if I have money, so I will do the private things.
Okay. All right. Uh, Vicky.
Okay, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as we all know, our topic of today is government sector versus private sector. So when it comes to India, most of the people um, prefer government sector instead of private sector, uh, especially in terms of job. And these days, over last 4 to 5 years, most of the youth also want to prepare for government sector, and we all know it's hard not to crack government job as compared to private job, and private jobs are sometimes easy to get, and but when it comes to salary, we are provided less salary in private sector as compared to government sector. So there are some good aspects and there are some bad aspects in the both of them, mm, whether it's a government sector or private sector. So as let me give an example, like if there's a family and there are four members in any family, and if someone is earning, like one is breadwinner means the person who is earning money. So uh, among the four people, if one is a breadwinner, then he can easily run the expenses of house, and that's why most of the people prefer, and even our parents also expect us to do to do work in government sector. So uh, that's what we all are also trying, who are interested in government sector. But when it comes to like schools, in terms of schools and prefer and to go in a private sector, because we don't get the facilities in a government sector as compared to private sector. So this is also main reason. And but when it comes to Delhi, the schools of Delhi is better than
Any other
government
state.
schools are better than, yeah, private sector.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
this policy, yeah, so this policy should be applied in every single
Everything.
states also. this
Yeah.
can be fruitful for every single person. Like, some people cannot afford to educate their children in private sector, because they
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
they charge um, la- much amount of money. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, definitely a little bit difficult for them who are in, like uh, someone is in private sector, and they are earning only 10,000, 15,000. So it's hard for them to educate their children in private sectors. And some to some extent private sectors are also good. Like when we talk about um, MNC companies, so they provide um, sufficient amount in as compared to, sorry, I mean, they provide sufficient amount in private sector also. So there are some good advantages. There are some advantages of private sectors, and there are some advantages of private government sector also.
Yeah.
So
Okay, Vicky.
yeah, that's all from my side.
Okay. Savitri.
Bro.
Yeah.
Good
What do you
afternoon to
think?
everyone.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
I am also thinking right now, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
Public sectors, difference between public sectors and private sector. I am going to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Public sectors are government, but private sectors controlled by a individual or a group of persons. Then public sectors are established for the purpose of public welfare. But private sectors are established for the purpose of only earning more and more profit. Uh, then in the public sector, collect money or fund from taxes, duties, fees. But in the private sector, they collect money from issuing shares and debentures and etc. Then in the public sector, job stability is more. In private sector is not. There is less because when they are doing 10 members in the public sector work, in that time public sector owner uh, purchase a machine. In that time only doing two persons that work, then also continue with machine, but another 8 members have another work. But in public private sector there is no. When they purchased machine, in that time only do 2 members work, but another 8 members are goes to their house because there is not job stability is good. Then in public sector there is extra benefits like allowances, retirement benefits, and provident fund. In the allowances, there is traveling allowances. Then when the inflation is arising in the city, in that time they give to their workers dearness allowances. Then they give to
Yeah.
their sons education allow sons or daughter, they give to the education allowances. Then retirement benefits, provident funds, they give to in public sector. But in private sector there is not give to allowances, retirement benefits, provident funds. There is only competitive spirit because they say to their workers who are do work hardly and overtime. In that time they give to more money to their workers, but they
Okay,
don't.
Savitri. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt you just because we have so many members and we don't have
Okay,
so
okay,
much
bro.
time.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay.
Yes.
So Shivam Mittal.
Yes, Dhruv, yes. So I think the both sector may be good, but I will prefer the government sector the most, because if you will talk about the safety and safety, there will be more safety in the government jobs. You can see that in during this time of pandemic, and the many private companies have banished their employees, but the government employees can't get banished from their works. So I think in this field that's good. And you can also see that the the salary the salary given in the case of government services is more. If you will, there may be some exception in the cases of like MNCs and some big IT companies, but if we will talk about overall salary, then I think the government pay more salary than the private sectors. Okay. And if you will
Yeah.
talk about the services, like and then I will prefer the private sector, because in the private sector the things are in the government sector, if you have some documents work, then it will take a lot of time, because the government employee are too lazy. They don't want to do any
Who are
work,
the bro? Just Shivam Mittal, you just made a point that we want to work in a government sector, so we are the employee who is working in that government field. Why this situation? I mean, just keep 30 seconds. Take your 30 seconds. Just because we don't have more time, but yeah, we are the people. I think.
yeah, we are the people, but after going to the government sector, I think I will also become lazy,
Okay.
because this is the trend in the India.
Hmm.
But I am not
Yeah.
become lazy, bro.
Yeah,
It depends.
yeah, it's a
It's
trend
not,
in
Not up to
India.
only one person.
I think it's not about you, it's about the working process, and I think it is he's right.
Yeah.
They get more time to do any work, and that's true. And in public sector, we generally get our work quickly because of pressure or anything, but we get the work quickly, I think. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can take the example that if you have enough money and anyone gets suffered from something in your family, then you will prefer the private hospital over the government one,
Yeah. Right.
just because of the
Okay.
facility. There may be some good hospitals like government also, like Sanjeevani hospital, like AIMS, but the India is they must lie in the big cities only, some of them, some of the cities. Okay. So India is the country of the villages, so these facilities must available in the villages also. There's
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay, Kajol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
2.5
everyone
minutes
is,
you have. Yeah,
yeah,
you can
everyone
take
has
your two and
kept
a half
their
minutes.
point. Like, what is the difference between public and private? And I think that's the same is true. That our, in when we talk about education or many facilities like medical or education, so we prefer to private sector because the facility of government sector is not very good. There's a very few state who provide us a good facility, but it's very less in number. And in private sector, if we have the money, then we got a good care, we got a good education, we got a good medical facility. So I think at that time we generally prefer this. And when we talk about job, business, when we talk about the government job or private thing like business or doing any private job, so I think most people prefer to go on government job because it gives them secure. And I think in this pandemic situation, we can see many things like the same thing, like I have also seen many people who got vanished from their job. And the person who is working in government sector, they are continuing their job. At least most of the people in private sector, the salary were decreases, and in government sector they got the same salary. So I think at that time it is best. But yeah, it depends on person to person. Like if someone is doing business, so I think some if someone is doing business, then it is also a private sector, and someone who is doing business, then they will definitely earn more than the government sector who is working in job. So yeah, it depends on business to business also. But yeah, in private sector, if we are doing business, then we have the independency. So, we have the time if we are in good position in business. I know when we started any business, so we have to give many times. Yeah, when we are stable on our business, so we have the independent, we have the freedom for many things. So I think we can use our own time. So that's the best part of private sector also, if we are doing business. And if you are doing government job, then you have to go to the office. So that's the difference, I think. I
Okay.
can say.
Yeah, all right. Abhishek, you're not audible. No, 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 we can't listen you. Nope. No, you're not audible. You have, I think you have your microphone, your headphone problem. We just make it clear. Okay, Shivendra, fix it, bro, Abhishek, and then we will come to you.
And
Yeah,
one
hi
more benefit
everyone.
I want to say. Okay, I will
Okay,
say
okay.
after some time. After some time.
No, 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 no. Okay, you can add just because maybe you won't have. Just you can add your point that you wanted
Yeah,
to
I
add.
want to add that, if we are in working in private sector, and we are doing business rather than job. So when we create some job for the people. So I think that's the best part of this, I think. Then we can we become a very we become a part of economic level, because if we are doing job and provide if we are doing business and provide job more and more, so it will be helpful for them also. So I think that's the best part. So
Yeah,
that's my point.
sure. Exactly. Shivendra,
Okay, okay. Hi everyone. I'm Sivan, and today's topic of government sector versus private sector, right? Am I audible?
you are audible. Keep on.
Okay, okay. So, in my opinion, I think both are not good and both are not bad because it's a India. Here different types are police and different types are teacher, different types are doctor, and different types are politician people. So different type other thinking. So I think not all bad government sector and private sector, not good and not bad, because I think every people are not properly working in government sector and private sector, because it's I think government sector, but I think government sector is good and better for good salary and safety and good and comfortable, and after after the, after mm, I don't know,
Uh,
forget my word. After retired, provide government pension all time, so that's a good. But I think when all over our service, sir, and uh, so when private sector and government sector are properly working, so that's a good. And I think not all bad government sector, all bad private sector. Okay, because I think not properly working in servant like government sector and private sector, because here are different types of people, because after good salary and comfortable and safety, so overreact, I think overreact government servants, not properly go on office, and school teacher are not properly go school, and doctors. So after
Yeah.
safety and good, so here different type people are thinking, and politician, especially politician are different types, because BJP party is good, and Congress party is good, Aam Aadmi party is good. So not all bad and not all good. Okay, I think. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So
But
Avinav.
well,
Okay. Yeah,
so
you are audible. Just wait. I think you want to make one point.
yeah, so in my according, I think government sector is best, and for good salary, and comfortable, and time to time service, and safety. So that's a good.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, Avinav,
anybody
now.
can speak now.
Basically it's depend on situation. For the job you will prefer the government sector because it provides a sense of stability. Just in the corona crisis, many of the coaching institutes are filtering out the teachers, and just pre in the pre in the pre-corona age, you all have witnessed the jet jet airway crisis. What happens? All the employees comes on the ground suddenly in the 2 to 3 months, and the government has nothing to do because that is the private sector. And in the government sector, you have a sense of stability that will provide stability not to you but to also your family. But if the point comes to seeking the facilities, private sector is better.
Yeah. Okay. You can speak more. You can add some more point if you want. You have time.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. No problem. Now, Vinny.
Yes. So
Yeah.
what I am going to talk, it is about my country perspective because I'm not aware about your country.
Sure. You
Yeah.
can.
So here is the difference of between the private and government schools. That those people who can afford money, they will go for the private, and those who can't, they will go for the government. And here it arises the differences between the people, like the poor people go for the government, and the rich people will go for the private, and here it creates a status. And because I think in every country, everyone has the equal rights to get education. So I think it should be stopped, and for everyone there will be one school that they will go and pursue their education. And it is a sad reality of our society that no that everyone is want to get education from private school, but no one no one and get a job in a private. They want to get job in government. Why? And
Vinny, you are not audible. Okay, Nabil.
sorry for disconnecting. I think it's a network issue.
Okay. Now you can. Yeah. You're audible now.
And and here the government schools, the same teachers who are coming to our private school, they will go for the government school, and they provide they provide them education, and they take the more hours. But then they come to the private school, and they give us the 40 minutes, and they will get more money.
Okay.
And the teachers will say that government schools students are not willing to get education. I don't know what was the issue, and that's it.
Yeah, okay, and this is definitely not very good as someone who is working in government sector, whether they are doctor or they are teacher. They are not supposed to work for any private institute, or they are not supposed to open their own coaching classes, at least in terms of money. Yeah, even it also happens in our India. Don't worry, it also happens in our India. It is normal. Nabil?
Yes. Okay, I want to tell some
Yeah.
points regarding to government versus private sector. So first thing that when I was studying, everyone of my classmates, they always wanted to get a job in government sector. But what happened when I get a job in government sector? Why we become lazy? So it's not a problem in government sector. The problem is us. The problem is with us because we become lazy. Why we become lazy? So it's not, you can't say that the teacher or the doctors who work in government sector, they have no education, they have no eligibility, they are more eligible, they have more education if you compare to private
Yeah.
sector, because if they have cracked intense or examination or interview, then they got a job. So the second thing is, if you talk about circumstances, if you talk about real circumstances of government and private sector, so I want to tell you one thing about, if you talk about government is college and private college, suppose if there is two college, first one is government and second one is private college. So what happened there, that the facility we get, if you are doing job in government sector, so you got students, they are very poor, they don't have any knowledge, and their parents, they don't have any kind of knowledge, they don't prepare their children that you are going to college, you are going to school to get a knowledge. They just go to school, some reason for scholarship, some reason for midday meal. That's the true behind the government schools. But if you talk about private sector, so all the parents prepare or persuade their children, and they carry them into the bus, and then they leave them to the school very responsible, with full of responsibility, and they take some tuition as well. But if the students who come in government sector, he never know about it, he don't know anything. And I literally tell you one thing, what happened if you just exchange all the government teacher in private school and private teachers in government schools, you never see any significant change, you never see. But the problem is happened because the product, means the students we get, it is completely, what can I say, they are very poor, they are very neglected, persuaded, you can say. They don't have any facility, they don't have even pens, copies and books. They are very lack of sources. That is another reason. And the second thing is, if you, because in some times later, you know that the uh, government job seekers, or all the government who doing job in government sector or minister, they have to they are mandatory to their children that they are admit their children in the government school, but they persuade them, they neglect it. Why they neglect it? We have to, all the ministers and all the jobs holders, they have to give their students in the government school. That's why the atmosphere of the government school will increase, will change. Otherwise there is not going to happen, because I literally tell you, if you see the student quality of the private sector and government sector, there are a huge difference behind them. But if you talk about the job prospect, everyone is going to get a job in government sector there, because there is, first thing is the salary base. If you talk about salary, if you just talk about private sector teacher or government sector, there are 10 times 6 to 7 times more salary they get if you got a job in government sector. And the second one is, the you get a job, it's more reliable and certainty, you get a job with full of certainty. And the second thing is leave structure, you get a good leave structure, holidays. And the second thing is, you get very less
Yeah.
stress. But the second thing is, in private sector is more better, that they work with full of accountability and with full of transparency. That is the thing. But if you compare the price tag between the private and government sector, it's also a huge difference if you talk about private hospital or government hospital, or private college or government college. So we have to see the things. But nowadays
Yeah.
government is doing good work, and I hope that if you compare government colleges before 10 years to now, you can see a significant change. And I hope that after when we implement new education policy, it will
Yeah.
be more grow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it will be more grow, especially in government sector. But it is last thing I want to tell you, that it's not a problem of government sector, it's the problem of us, because now we got a job in government sector. So why we become lazy? We have to work with full of accountability or with full of honesty. So if we get a job in government sector and government gives a good salary, so why we become lazy? We have to more active than private sector. Then we can change this. If we just say that government sector is not good and private sector is better, so it's not gonna be changed. We have to change it. We always think, how can we change it? That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because different type people in India.
Of course, because everything in government sector or private sector, even though we are a pupil, government is not anything. Government sector is not anything. Everything is happening with the pupil. If you are true, if you are real, if you are genuine or honest, you can do anything. So it's completely up to us.
Yeah.
Yes.